I just don't know why it is now that elections seem to be getting a little violent, or, you know, getting to a state that we constantly have to rerun in Imo State. Why is it that elections can't hold like they're holding in every other place?
I have an idea.
As they have all over the country. Why do we have to keep having reruns in Imo?
I have an idea. The change that we have witnessed in Nigeria, or we're witnessing in Nigeria now, we started well before the Nigerian nation started having their own change. Our own change in Imo State started in 2011. It was a massive movement that decided to put a stop to the politics of mercantilism. Because what we had in Imo State prior to 2011 is politics of mercantilism. The highest bidder takes it all. And you look at the characters of those who had ruled Imo State before 2011. Check their background. I thank God the police commissioner was here earlier on. Ask the police to check their background. Run a check on their background. You will see that it's something different. There have been a mad difference for 2011. That is why if you come to APC, the governor has made this clear to everybody. We are not flaunting names in APC. Check all the big names in party politics in Imo State. You don't find them in APC. God has, in his own wonderful way, conglomerated them into one part of our political equation, and that is the PDP. So it has been a fight. It has been a war between the powers of darkness and the powers of light within Imo State. Our own law started long before now. And when you fight this war, let me explain to you.
When you begin to
let me talk to you.
No, just a moment.
Can I make this just 2 points and can continue?
Before you make your point, I think it's also very important that I make this point. When you begin to cast your opponents, or beg your pardon, in terms of light and darkness.
That's what it is.
I don't think that is a fair representation. That's one.
All right.
And I think that it's not the type of thing that also enhances or fosters unity after the elections, because then you're casting aspersions on some people as being forces of darkness. How do we begin? We're talking elections here. It's not spiritual matters.
It's also spiritual. Spiritual in the sense that it is the spirit.
Please do not justify it. Let's just face the issues. Imo State has had turbulent elections. This is not the first time. This is the second time we're having to face a rerun. In fact, so far it's the only state that we're seeing a rerun already announced by INEC. Maybe another state could fall into that category.
Taraba.
But this is one of the states where we've seen it before. It looks like we're seeing it again. Why is that the case?
I think you should oblige me. My opinion may not be totally correct. Actually, you should oblige me, since you're asking of my opinion. My opinion, if I decide to couch it in spiritual language, I think you should just respect that opinion. It may be the best way I can express myself.
I beg you to don't.
But I'll be very careful about it. But let me just make this point. I'm saying that I was told through my catechism that when you cast out a demon, you don't go to sleep. You continue to pray and continue to fight, because otherwise the demon will come back, even after it had been cast out. We thought we had cast out the demon in 2011. Perhaps we assumed so much that all is well. We never knew that the demons have regrouped and prepared more than ever before to get back to the body. So that is why there is a dislocation between the old and the new. There is a new party politics in Imo State. Check out the crop of commissioners you have in Imo State now. It is a total deviation from the old. Check out the council chairman you have now. They are new politicians.
You're running down the clock.
Check out the things we do in Imo State now. They are all new things. There are people who have been sidelined and who are uncomfortable. Let me explain to you. There are categories of politicians. There are politicians who cannot live for the next day without politics.
Okay, let's
That's what I'm saying.
Let's speak to the election before we wrap up.
With due respect, you listen to me too, with due respect to you, somebody who
I'm just looking at the time.
I'm going to round out this now. Somebody who is public secretary of a party for how many years, watch his speeches, watch his encounters with pressmen, watch most of the PDP stakeholders, the major stakeholders, watch them talk to you. You see exasperation, you see desperation. You see disintegration. There is no consistency both in the elocution and in the delivery. They are beginning to behave like fish out of water under Just 7 days, sorry, 2 weeks to go.
Dr. Kechi,
there's something wrong somewhere. There's something wrong somewhere.
If they look at the figures, they ask questions about the figures that have been released so far.
Thank you.
Saying first, I mean, about 6 or 7 local government areas to the PDP, and they are running your party close, over 300,000 votes. I mean, you had over 20 local governments, and yet it's that close, and so they wonder that if they're able to get those amount of votes with fewer local governments, don't you think that with this last elections they could just upstage your party?
Well, the good thing about it that is a safe confession. They have confirmed that they got that number of votes within 3-4 local governments, and I said it is for us.
Not 6 or 7.
6 or 7. All right. Let us look at it. What is the average per local government? And this is the governor. If you want to be a governor of a state, you shouldn't allow 3 local governments to make you the governor of a state. 27 local governments should come together to make you a governor. Look at Owele's record. Owele has 26, fine spread, leading in 21. The good thing about it, and that's a good story, I said if I were the advisor, I would told them to throw in the top well, at least for once. Take a cue from President Jonathan.
Did you hear, just a moment, did you hear that result sheets were brought in from GAT? Did your party also see that? Result sheets not belonging to Imo State being used there?
Let me tell you what I heard and what I know. What I know is that in Mbise, results were mutilated.
You're answering a question you want to answer. I've asked you a question. Did you or did you not hear about it?
You just asked me. I said, let me tell you what I heard.
No, I want you to answer this one, not the one you want to answer.
Okay.
Did you or did you not hear that, you know, there were fake result sheets brought into Imo State? Did you get reports of that?
No, I am not aware. But what I'm aware of is this. There were mutilated result sheets that allocated high marks or high votes to PDP that were brought in. And our representative opposed it, and that is normal. I'm not aware where mutilated result sheets were being admitted.
Where was this?
If INEC could do that in Mbise, I mean, because who you speak to right now is INEC. Sure. What is the guarantee that INEC did not do the same for you?
That's why I should thank God for this opportunity of being here. We are calling on the national INEC. We are calling on observers. We are calling on channel. We are calling on all the media houses. We are calling on all the stakeholders in Nigeria. Since that decision has already been taken, come to Imo State. See us hold a rerun in the 23 local governments where some 256 polling units have been affected. Beam your light, your searchlight on all the polling units. Let the elections take place free and fair. By the time we come back, you will see that APC will have topped the day with more than 145 or 150,000 votes. I am not kidding you. I can make a bet on this. We are going to win and win clear. Look at all the areas where cancellation has taken place. These are areas that APC have been leading naturally leading. So those cancellations were cancellations of polling units that ordinarily would have come to APC.
All right, we'll have to go.
But you asked me a question about 144,000, which she didn't really allow me to respond. I think it's important I answer it.
Briefly, because I
had to be very brief about it. INEC said the reason why they couldn't announce the result or announce Owele the winner is because there are 256 polling units that were affected with over the potential of 144,000 voters. What they didn't tell Nigerians are this. 144,000 voters, registered voters, not PU collected. If you take the average of about 70% of PUs collected as against those registered, PVCs, permanent voters cards collected as against 144,000, you'll be getting about 100,000 PVCs collected. So the reason actually why they wouldn't announce the result is about potential of 100,000 PVCs
which
not
is
collected.
Right.
That makes sense. Now look at it, but I don't know how sense it makes morally to the opposition. Why would they won't throw in the towel and save people the alcohol?
Don't let me throw in the towel.
100,000 votes. Look at the average turnout. The average turnout is less than 50%. So what we expect that day to come out to vote is about 50,000 people. All right. Now, even now that it's a rerun, you expect to have less than 35,000 turnout, 35% turnout, as against the 45-50% average in the April 11 elections. So even if Emeka Ihedioha, even if APC decide to fold their arms and continue to drink the tea we have been drinking and take the wine we have been taking and the champagne we have been taking at the government house, so yeah, go and vote. And Emeka Ihedioha wins all the votes. He still cannot become the governor of Imo State.
All right, we'll have to anchor that.
So why subject Imo people to this kind of assault? I call it assault on their psyche.
We have to go. Dr. Theodore Ikechi is a former Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Imo State and now the Director, Election Planning and Monitoring for APC's Presidential Campaign Organization. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much. But let me say this. Thank you to channels. You people have done so well. You kept your head high throughout the elections, and nobody can accuse you of being partisan. I think that's something that other media houses should emulate.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you.